Come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, let's talk RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 2, Episode 6. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate it. On this episode, I was so excited to see him. Graham Norton. I love Graham Norton. Graham Norton is a funny ass. If you've never watched the Graham Norton show, look it up on BBC. He's hilarious. He is. He's one of those people that is just, I wouldn't even consider him like a comedian. He's just a funny person. He's just funny. You know, he just his whole being, he's just funny to me. I like Graham Norton. But anyway. So we start off this episode, but he was a guest judge anyway. We start off this episode, and they were, the only way I could really explain it, they had the pit crew out there, and they played a game of raunchy golf. It was like a raunchy golf game. Very sexual, very, you know, up close and personal, and bumping up against them in their little underwear that don't fit. You know, I was like, okay, all right, y'all. Alaska won, and she actually won a custom suit. It's actually whoever the designer is that actually does a lot of Ru suits. So she won a custom suit. You know, Alaska, child. She makes me so proud, honey. I'm so glad she's from here, honey, because she's really doing such a good job. She really is. You really go on, Alaska, bitch. Anyway, the whole thing this week, it wasn't really all that. It wasn't a very complicated episode. They were doing self-branding. The challenge was about self-branded merchandise, which I love that whole kind of thing. I'm really into that. I love grassroots marketing and all of that. I just find that very entertaining. So this would have been a challenge that I would have really had a lot of fun with myself. But they had to do a commercial on it, and it was just fun. Like it was fun. They were just really taking. Some of them really had ideas for things that you know that they're really going to actually market. And I was sitting there and my wheels were spinning like, bitch, you better go ahead and make that money. And some of them were just some shit that was made up just for the challenge and was just funny as hell. And they were just cool. None of them actually stood out to me too. It was like, oh my God, it was so great. I just couldn't get enough of it. It was just, they were cute. So I'm not even going to go running through them. They really did lean into their personality. The one thing with Katya, it was nice that Katya, when they came around, they had a guy who actually does some marketing. He's really good, a marketing guru. He came around, and as he was going through the girl stuff, he told Katya he didn't care for what she was doing and told her to start over. She decided not to. She stuck to her guns and did what it was that she was going to do. She ended up winning the challenge, her and Alaska. The two of them won the challenge together. And again, Alaska, it's like Alaska sitting on a goddamn horseshoe. Every move is the best move. She's doing so goddamn well. But yeah, they were doing really, really good. So Katya and her product, because hers was like one that wasn't really anything that would really sell, but it was funny. You know, it was funny, and it was her, and it was all based upon like demons in her head and shit like this. It was funny. It was funny. It was very Katya. And her hair, she has this we're gonna talk about the hair, but Katya has this wig. She's a couple of them where it's like a body wave. That shit looks good on her. It really does. It looks so good on her. And then what I noticed, it's good on her in a lighter shade. I like Katya in lighter shades of hair. I'm not crazy about her in a dark shade. I think she's such a pretty queen. In the face, she's gorgeous. And you don't really see it a lot because she's always dancing and doing all these things and acting silly, that you don't really see it. But on the runway, you look at her, and the lighter her hair is, the prettier she looks. Like milk, just like a cup of milk. I said, girl, you better go ahead, Miss Katja. But anyway, they had pants on the runway, which was something odd. So everybody had to do pants. Nobody's outfit really knocked me out. They were just like, okay, nobody had no pants that were really, really different or anything like that. Or, because I was expecting to see somebody come with a smoking ass jumpsuit or something. Nobody knocked me out with their pants. Katja had this very 80s Ultratron look, and it was very her and very, campy, and it fit her. But her makeup and her modeling it was the thing on the runway. And like I said, she was completely platinum. She had a completely platinum little lace front bob. No whole bunch of floof or fluff. And all this up in here, flawless. Flawless. I said, Miss Katja, better quit your playing. Her and Alaska ended up in the tops. Roxy and Tati ended up in the bottom. Tati's commercial, I thought, was good. It was Tati. It was funny because it was all about, her product was all about talking shit. And, that's Tati. Tati is so, she's so passive aggressive that makes you laugh. She was like, choices. And just little shit, thank you. And all that little shit she says. Child, she did all that shit in that commercial. And she was giving, just like basically walking around town talking shit. There was like a teacup and some other little stuff. Funny as hell. But she didn't really focus on the cup and stuff. So that's where it kind of fell. But the commercial itself was funny as hell. So Alaska and Katja came in the top. They won a wig wardrobe from Weave and Steven. Yes, God. Like I said, Roxy and Tati were in the bottom two. I still say Tati was better than Roxy. Roxy did the wig reveal thing, and it just didn't come off like it did when she did it on the show. We went up for the shit when she did it on the show. They did their little lip sync for your child. What is up with this lip sync, honey? Katja went back. That's what she put on, like the dark hair. It was a pretty wig, but dark hair. And she put this little dress on. And of course, she did her splits and her kicks and all of this stuff. And, but I'm going to stop here. Child, Katja had on a pair of motherfucking Baby That-A-Way shoes. And motherfucking Alaska had on a pair of motherfucking Mama's Family Jellies. I said, is them jelly shoes, bitch? I said, what's up with this? Did y'all ever know Alaska be straight up in some dick beaters? Whenever they get down to getting ready to do the lip sync for Your Legacy, that goddamn Alaska ain't in no pumps. Alaska is dick beater city, honey. They don't even be kitten heels. Dick beaters. I said, girl, I know that's right. Fuck that shit. I ain't mad at you, but I looked out, I said, girl, did you get them from Needle Myers, honey? Them shoes was a mess. But I laughed at that so hard. Alaska beat Katja, and she had to pick. She sent Tati home. Listen to this. Let me tell you this. That was smart. And Alaska knows what she's doing. Because Roxy Andrews has plateaued. She doesn't have anything else to give. Roxy is a looks queen, and I said that in my past review. She's a looks queen. She's not doing anything but taking up space. She's not able to even keep up. Roxy can't keep up at this point. She's outside of what it is that she does. She's done. And Alaska keeps leaving her there because she knows she can keep whooping up on her every week. So that was very smart. Tatiana, on the other hand, Tati just did not get that one challenge that was going to boost her forward. But the bitch was working her ass off. And she was falling into the bottom by default, I believe. I really do. Tati has something And they were going to eventually run into it, that bitch was going to excel and she was going to end up somewhere up at the top. And Alaska knows what she's doing. She knew to get that bitch out of there. Get her out of there. Because every time you keep losing, you losing. And you ain't, I mean, it don't take no brain surgeon to look around. You look around the room, right in here, very few girls that can even fuck with her because she's fucking beautiful. So that helps, you know. And no, this competition is not all about looks, but when you got some, it helps. And Tati has some. There's some stuff with Tati that didn't get a chance to get out on the show, I do believe. And I was just sitting watching her. I was rooting for her. Tati all the way. I love Alaska because again, she's my Pittsburgh girl, but love her to death. But that was very, very strategic and very smart on Alaska's part to leave Roxy there because you know next week you can whoop up on that bitch again. You can just keep on sending girls home, honey, and keeping Roxy there so you get to the last challenge and then whoop her ass up and send her ass home. And on that, you're playing a smart game, Alaska, bitch. Keep it up. All right, y'all. I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.